And for more, we're joined by Masahiro Matsumura, Professor of International Politics and National Security at St. Andrews University in Kobe. Professor, what's your assessment of Ms. Takaichi's administration's strategy in wooing the U.S. leader? I mean, the pageantry gifts, including the golf club that belonged to the late former Prime Minister Shinzo Abe, certainly appear tailored to Mr. Trump's taste.
Well, it seems going well, but at this point, we still have to see what is going to be out. But it seems to me Takaichi had a good personal chemistry with Trump, and in contrast to the little bit tense relations between Trump and the former Prime Minister Ishiba. Takaichi is known as a non-military security specialist, well, primarily focused on economic security, not much of a military security. But in the end, she is a protege of Abe and continued to Abe's who following in the security policy known as Indo-Pacific strategy. So in that sense, at the beginning, as a start, she launched a good prospect in working with the Trump administration.
How much of the fact that she's a protege of the late Shinzo Abe put her in good stead with the president? And at home, could she be seen as leaning too heavily on Mr. Trump and her former mentor's legacy?
Well, she intended to do so, but I'm not sure whether she'll be able to do that, because to make a verbal commitment is easy, but what previous Ishiba administration committed in terms of investment, large amount of investment, not in the trade, but also in the arms sales. Well, it's easy to say, but it's very difficult to carry out. Particularly, Takaichi administration have great difficulty to finance this huge amount of money, right? So we got to wait what she can do, particularly maybe because the amount of the investment and arms sales is so huge. So maybe we have to make a major cut in the social and the medical welfare. That is very hot domestic political issues.
Now, as you mentioned about huge investments, Ms. Takaichi's promise to accelerate military buildup fit into the broader U.S. strategy for countering China in the Indo-Pacific. Does it align with that, you think?
Yes, intended to do so. But the question is, money is, it's not easily available in this environment. Maybe we have to levy the heavier tax or issue more national bond. But in the end, it will be necessary to turn to the Japanese people, and they got to agree to pay for that, and that is difficult question for Takaichi, particularly because Takaichi has a minority government, not a majority government. So in this sense, her government have to deal with opposition parties, which in total has a majority. So this is the situation in which she has a difficult time and making a lot of difficult political deals within the domestic legislative context. And we don't know as yet, whether she'll be able to go through this difficult political process.
Now, in your opinion, what can she do in this meeting with Donald Trump that will put her in good stead domestically? Well,
even opposition parties, maybe except the Communist Party, do understand we have to maintain a good working relationship and alliance relationship with the United States. But combined with domestic political issues, tax and the welfare, right? They have a lot to say against Takaichi's easy commitment with Trump. So again, verbal commitment is easy, but to carry out what is committed is not easy. And Takaichi faced a glowing, huge obstacle in implementing, carrying out what she has promised to Trump.
Now, one of the deals that they've struck, they also inked a deal to boost rare earth supply and production. How significant is this agreement in light of China's near monopoly of the industry? I mean, what are the challenges ahead of Japan in this area?
Well, at the production levels, that have to be managed through. But again, huge obstacle from Japan's perspective is financing and then this capital management program. And then that question is so huge. And then Japanese government will be able to work with the industry side, big business side, to deal with this problem. And each individual companies may or may not have be able to work out smoothly with what government decided were committed to carry out vis-a-vis the United States. But overall, except a few individual cases, I think this trade issue would be manageable. But again, this financing, national financing and investment, this is a real problem. And I don't see that any rosy picture. It's a bumpy road to go ahead, to ahead.
Now, for Mr. Trump, he's visited and met the Emperor yesterday, and today he has a meeting with the Prime Minister. How does his visit to Tokyo affect how the Japanese public perceives him?
Well, I cannot speak for public, but I can speak for myself. But I think this is very important to focus on the meaning of the meeting of two head of the states. Well, actually, two top democratically elected leaders, Takaichi and Abe, in Tokyo is not necessary. That can be done with high-ranking cabinet members on both sides. So this time, well, previous time when Trump came to Japan, he used Yokota Air Base near Tokyo. But this time he comes to use Haneda International Airport. That's a major difference. And then he met with the emperor before he had a business and intergovernment businesses. So I understand that primary objective for Trump visit is to meet emperor, not necessarily with the government. Well, government talks can happen in either way, possibly done in Washington. So emperor and then Trump confirmed the continuation of the best of the bilateral relationships, which was originally set up by the Emperor Hirohito and continued by the current emperor's father, Akihito. So that is a sort of the bottom line of the current U.S.-Japan relationship on which have built current stable alliance relationships. So this is a really talked about in the mass media, but it's, I think, a very important factor. So you see that what is reported is not necessarily true. That's my take.
Well, many thanks for those insights. We've been speaking to Masahiro Matsumura, the Professor of International Politics and National Security at St. Andrews University in Kobe. Thank you.